Support Wrestle Talk!
Give us a subscribe.
A massive thank you to Supernova Steve Harris for being an awesome pledgehammer on Patreon. This past Monday saw the introduction of the 24/7 Championship to WWE, and while it was originally greeted with groans and jeers, by the end of the night it seemed the crowd had turned a corner, with R-Truth, Robert Roode and Titus O'Neil providing some nice comedy and brief title reigns. Having said that, while the gimmick of the title may have some fans excited, that doesn't stop the actual belt itself looking horrendous. The 24/7 Championship is just the latest in a long line of championships in WWE history, and for every great-looking belt like the Winged Eagle WWF Championship, there's a Divas Championship waiting around the corner to remind you that everything is terrible. Before we hop into the video though, make sure to press the thumbs up, subscribe and enable notifications, and leave us a comment letting us know what you think the ugliest WWE belt to ever exist is. With all that said, my name is Chopper P. Quinnell, and let's take a look at some of the ugliest WWE title belts in history. The 24/7 Championship. Let's start with the most recent offender, shall we? This past Monday saw Mick Foley have the unfortunate duty of having to reveal the 24/7 Championship to an indifferent crowd. While he was talking about the belt before revealing it, part of it was already poking out of the bag, and you could already tell from here it was gonna be a stinker. The green strap is fine in theory, but the plate being plain gold with a basic 24/7 logo inscribed on the front hardly inspires anything significant in the audience. It genuinely looks like a cheap knockoff toy or a fan-made belt, not one made by the largest wrestling company in the world. It's almost as if this championship was rushed into production after a panic decision or something. But that's crazy talk, right? Hopefully the entertainment value of the belt can outweigh the negatives of the design, because my god, it's gonna need to. There's some potential for great comedy here, but let's hope it's actual comedy and not WWE comedy. The Divas Championship. The Butterfly Divas Championship is a reminder of everything that was wrong with women's wrestling in time gone by. Because you see, the women are all precious little butterflies that don't really wrestle. Leave that to the men, ladies. Disgusting, I tell ya. The design of the belt itself is awful. It looks more like a tacky tramp stamp than it does a supposedly prestigious championship belt. Imagine training all your life to become a wrestler, finally ascending to the lofty heights of the WWE, only having to find out you have to fight for a crappy pink butterfly. Well, at least we've moved past this, and it was a long time ago, right? When was the title replaced again? 2016? Christ, that is only 3 years ago. It feels like this is a relic from the 1990s, but it was only introduced in 2008. Well, at least 2016 saw the removal of a disgraceful belt, and they learnt their lesson, never to be repeated again. What's that? The Universal Championship. SummerSlam 2016 saw Finn Balor take on Seth Rollins for the brand new Universal Championship in a match that unfortunately saw Balor injured from an errant powerbomb into the barricade. While Balor's injury was very unfortunate and would see him relinquish the title the next night after his victory, one of the main talking points was the championship itself. You see, the Universal Championship was sitting on a plinth next to the ring during the match, and any time the camera panned to it, the crowd would boo incessantly. Now there's a reason it was receiving a whole ton of boos, and that reason is because it looks dreadful. The current WWE Championship design isn't the greatest it's been, but it's at least passable. The Universal Championship is the same as the WWE Championship, but they just took the black and gold colors and made them red. I think Vince McMahon must have heard the phrase "paint the town red" and thought it would apply to championship belts too. It doesn't. It really doesn't. The WWE Championship. This is one of the most infamous belt designs of all time, and I'd say deservedly so. From 2005 to 2014, 9 years, the WWE Championship was a spinner belt. The center section of the belt spun like a spinner on a souped up car. Why? Why would it do that? It's a belt, not an accessory. This was just one of the many reasons fans held resentment towards John Cena, especially in the later years of its run. Cena was the one who, in kayfabe, brought in the new design because it worked with his character at the time. And that's fine. Daniel Bryan introduced the Hemp Championship last year, and it worked great. Stone Cold Smoking Skull Belt worked as well. Do you know why they worked? Because when they lost, the designs reverted back to the original belts. When Cena lost the belt, it should have reverted back to what it once was. But no. Wrestlers such as CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, and Triple H all won and had to carry around a title belt with a spinner on it. Christ! And of course, it wasn't CM Punk, the top star at the time, who promised change to the audience and went on tirades against John Cena and WWE as a whole that changed the design of the belt. No, it was The Rock after he beat CM Punk. Because of course it was. The Lay Cool Split Women's Championship. Well, hey, it's the Women's Championship, not the Divas Championship. Everyone rejoice. Except for when Lay Cool won it. Yeah, you heard that right. Two wrestlers, Layla and Michelle McCool, won the singles title, the Women's Championship. It's like the Freebird rule, but if it made no sense. The worst part of this team winning the championship, though, is what happened to the belt. Instead of one of them carrying the championship or doing some really corny thing where they walk out standing next to each other and wear the one belt around both waists, they split the belt. Not as in each of them gets their own belt to carry. No. They literally split the belt. It's got a tear down the middle, like someone that's really strong just got the belt and tore it in two. It looks absolutely ridiculous. Layla and Michelle McCool had to walk out with half a championship each, looking like they stumbled on some scraps of a broken championship and pretended to be a champion. Awful. Tommy Dreamer's New York Hardcore Championship. So you know when I said before that unique designs for individuals holding championships is fine? Yeah, well, maybe scratch that. If their unique design looks anything like Tommy Dreamer's New York Hardcore Championship from 2002. Whoo boy, this is a stinker. It's a hardcore championship, but it's got a New York license plate attached to the front and a Statue of Liberty. New York, everyone. You can still see the belt behind all the new attachments on the front. It literally looks like someone who's ashamed of liking wrestling has tried to cover it up to make it not look like a wrestling belt in a desperate attempt to convince whoever looks at it that it's a normal souvenir from New York. It's not. It's stupid. The Unified Tag Team Championships. This will be one of the first designs that will spring to mind if you ask a modern wrestling fan about ugly designs. I mean, my god, they're literally pennies in so many ways. They're round, look like they're made of copper, and they're essentially worthless. These belts lasted for 6 years, and believe it or not, were the Unified Tag Team Championships when they were introduced, combining the World Tag Team Championships and the WWE Tag Team Championships. Want to guess who the inaugural champions were? The Colognes. Imagine the combination of two sets of tag team championships resulting in worse belts than either of their original pairs. Progression. WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I will admit, I know absolutely nothing about this belt, considering it was nullified 8 years before I was born, but all you need to do is look at a picture of it. I wouldn't recommend doing that for too long though, it's rather ugly. A green strap with gold plating? Now where have I seen that before? The difference with this one though is that it has about 17 million different pieces of plating all along the straps, as well as a bland middle plate that has some text on it that is basically impossible to read without some other color in it. It's woefully boring and dreadfully bland and not really befitting of the top champion in the company. The title lasted for an astounding 7 years before being switched up. Thank God. The NXT Championship. This one hurts me to put on this list because I loved NXT when it first started. Seth Rollins becoming the inaugural champion, besting Jinder Mahal. Okay, maybe it wasn't that great, but still, I really liked this championship. But I'm being forced to put it on this list by forces greater than myself, and by that, I mean it was a part of the article I used to compile this list from WrestleTalk.com. In all seriousness though, the title is really bland. Sure, it has the giant X in the middle, but then it's just the letters on either side of it. There's no engravings, markings, or other distinctive features. It's just kind of there. It's not exactly what you want for the top championship of your new, exciting and fresh brand. Both this and the NXT Women's titles were changed in quick succession in 2017, with Asuka becoming the first person to obtain the new design of the women's belt, and Bobby Roode retaining his title over Shinsuke Nakamura to become the first person to hold the new design of the men's title. Of course, the new title would go on to become a famous title belt. Hell, it even got a name from Tommaso Ciampa. Way to go, Goldie. Part of me will always miss the big X belt though. Seth Rollins with his blonde streak wrestling in trunks, and Big E doing his 5-count gimmick. Bo Dallas. Yeah, okay, never mind, I'm just nostalgic. So those were some of the ugliest championship belts in WWE history. Let us know what you thought in the comments. While you're there, make sure to press the thumbs up, subscribe, and enable notifications. A special thank you to our lovely pledgehammers on Patreon, some of whom you can see scrolling below me right now. Press the videos to my right to be taken to even more content. I've been Chopper Pete Quinnell, and that was wrestling.